Welcome back everybody to another Satisfactory video. Now in the last video we finish up here our steel factory, which has been working wonderfully, but I also upgraded our coal power and I doubled it. We now have 32 coal generators over here. But with this factory looking amazing and fully functioning, I had to upgrade our first factory. And as the factory will soon come into view, we realized it's no longer those orange boxes and, well, it's now having a facade and it's gonna be a lot bigger than what I had before. Now, first off, let's start with the ores. We still have the limestone, the copper, and the iron here, but we also have a double line at the top with more iron, two lines of extra iron, and caterium. And all of them are pure nodes, and all of them are double overclocked to give me 480 items per minute because I am using conveyor Mark 3 or 4, sorry. I mean, I could be using Mark 3, I just wouldn't be able to handle the 480 output. And at the moment, we already have some machinery over here. I made myself an automation to make me motors because I didn't have motors before. And I cleaned all the other machines up, and I have like some rotors stored, some modular frames, plates, like all the other resources is still here, and I do need to automate them all again because I don't have them automated, but I do have motors up there. We're making some motors, that's good, because I'm unlocking as many things I can in the hub, which I actually had to move to the steel base. And since I wanted to upgrade things in the hub or unlock things, I also moved all my power all the way down there. And I gave myself a start, just a start in the refineries, so I could start getting some of the resources that I was needing, mainly rubber and plastic. This is nothing too special, just doing some little math so I can get all of this from basically nothing. And we're just storing the fuel over here, and well, let's just drain it because we're not using it for anything. We're just producing it just because, literally just because. We need to do a proper factory, get tons and tons more power though. But just in case you want to do something similar, just bear in mind this is a single oil extractor. He's not he's not overclocked in any way, right? Yeah, no, he isn't. Just outputting 240 oil per minute, which then goes into 8 refineries. As you can see, there's 4 there, 4 here, 4 making rubber, 4 making plastic, and then at the end we're using the output of heavy oil residue on those 2 out there to make fuel, well, just because. But right now our goal is this factory, which, well, there's a lot of nodes that not been using and I want to use them. Now currently this motor factory is doing me 10 motors per minute while using 480 iron and 80 copper. The copper is being handled over here, making wire and I think it's pipes as well. We can make that recipe here with a little bit of iron, but the most important part is all over there. This was just making me the rotors and all those things. Like this was a lot of thought, but it's functional as you can see, and there's a lot of rotors coming in. And at the moment, this is how we're handling all our resources. They all come down here through this gap in the wall, and then over here through some elevators going down. And over here, we then send them up to the smelters, which we have them already full and decorated over here. I think it's like 8 on each side, so 16 if I remember correctly. Yeah, 16 for 480. We have the same here for the copper, though the copper is not all needed at the moment. We're only using 80. We're not using the 400 that we still have. So most of these are off. Oh, and sorry, this is using actually 465 iron, and the other 15 I could be turning into rods and store them, like later if I want to, I can do that. But at the moment, well, let's just have a sink here farming points because I really don't need the extra 15. Now let's unlock trains while we're at it.
Milestone reached. Trains are excellent for efficiently moving vast quantities of parts. Train logistics can be made more precise and complex with tools found in the railway signaling milestone. I listen to all my pioneers, often when they're not even aware of it. So due to popular demand, I have added a motivational message. Choo choo mother.
Oh my god. Oh, that's a crazy one. That's a crazy one right there. And I did a little bit of building, and well, take a look at this. This is how the factory is looking at the moment. It looks pretty good. I really like those lights. They do a lot of a lot of extra. Like without those lights, it doesn't look this cool. Like it just doesn't. And we can control the lights using this light control panel. Like we can turn them red if you want to. Any single color, you can edit the color to make it your own. I added mine right over here, which means, yeah, they glow with my light. I have a controller for these ones as well, right over there. And if you want to take a look at the upstairs, we have these stairs, or it's just a catwalk stairs and stuff, to power switches, which means we can shut down all these machines if we ever want to. I pretty much have a power switch on all of the machine setups that I have, so I can have a little bit of control if something happens later on. And then we have the container for the motors over here. But if I continue down up this way, we have the container for the heavy modular frames, which are now automated on this side. And of course the power switch is here, and yes, this is using the another line of 480 iron ingots. And yes, a little bit of concrete as well over here. But you might be wondering, well, only that? Like, there's steel pipes here. So you're using steel. And there's wire here. So I'm using copper. No, I'm actually not. I'm just using iron. I'm just using iron. I'm using an alternate recipe for iron wire, which is amazing. And I'm also using another alternate recipe over here for iron pipes, which is pretty good. Basically uses your iron, turns it into steel pipes. Amazing. And this one, it's, well, another alternate recipe of cast screw, which, guess what, it's also pretty strong. Now I think I'm also using another one here, right? Yes, I am. I'm using the alternate stitched iron plate, which swaps this recipe around to use iron plates and wire. And I did that so I could maximize on the iron that I had, because basically without these alternate recipes, 480, that's like last year, what the hell? Without those recipes, I would not be able to do this and still output 1.5 heavy modular frames per minute, but with only the 480 iron that these smelters are cooking. And actually, I did need a little bit more of iron, which luckily I had from those smelters all the way over there, because they are doing 480 ingots as well, but I'm only using 460 on this side of the factory, which means 65, which means I have 15 ingots left, which I'm reusing here, but I only need like 8 extra ingots. So there's like 7 ingots that are just stopping, kinda. Which is why every once in a while you'll probably see one of these smelters just turns to yellow, because the line just clogs up. Because technically I have 7 extra iron ingots in the belts. But now, back into problems. Yes, because we're not using all our iron. We still have another 480, we still have 480 Caterium, and we do have like 300-ish limestone to use. Now the limestone, pretty easy to use. We still have 400 copper to use, but we still have 4 lines to maximize, and we have power issues. Yeah, power is not looking great, because, I mean, if you take only a look at the consumption, we peak 1.7. Yeah, 1.7 is basically the peaks. 1.7 to 6. It's all right. It's all right. The problem here is our max consumption, because we're pretty much close to our production capacity. So we need to do something about that. And that means oil. Yep, you can see in the distance the little factory that we have. I mean, you can't see it. It's not loading. But yeah, a little factory all the way over there. Yeah, that's gotta be way bigger. And well, the factory is bigger. And it's also not where I initially showed you guys. I'm all the way down here in this corner of the map. Since our main base is here and the former oil setup is around here, I moved all the way down to here, mainly because of sulfur that we have all the way over there and coal that we have over here, because we need to make compacted coal for what we're doing right now. And well, I already was using my coal here. There's a sulfur node here, and then the nearest coal is like there. And I thought, well, might as well just move here and have everything closer, so now we can make this. Now, to be fair, this is way more than my power grid can handle at the moment. So just to have an idea, I have not connected everything. These are our power, well, the power fuel generators. These ones will be consuming turbo fuel. But we have a little bit of an issue. If we go over here to this post, we can see that, well, technically we are already overusing our power consumption. Like we have 2,400, and if all my machines were full power, that would be nearly 3,000. Luckily, they're still not close there, but they will be. Because we have tons of machineries here. Now, for example, I'm gonna make a setup that is using 900 oil per minute, but I'm gonna do it twice. We're getting the oil all the way from down there. If you take a look at oil, we have a bunch of oil reserves here. We have 6 oil reserves. Yes. And what do we have? We have a pure. We have 1 pure. We have 2 normals, and I believe we have 2 other pures here. So technically we have 4 pures, and then we have an impure. I didn't know we have an impure somewhere, but apparently we have an impure extra. But it doesn't really matter, because basically we have 4 pures worth of oil, which is 2,400 per minute. But I'm only going to be using, at the moment, 1,800, which means we still have like 900 for other purposes if you want to, but I'm only going to start with 900. So we're going to start with half. What does that mean? That means we need a lot of refineries. They are going to be using this, the basic recipe for fuel, and they will be giving me polymer resin. So it means 15 of these refineries are now using, or will be using, the crude oil. And the crude oil will turn into fuel. Then we move, ignore these ones, we'll move into these ones, which is 26 of them. Yep, there are 26 of them. And these 26 are using fuel plus compacted coal to make turbo fuel. And then the turbo fuel, the coal is made there on those assemblers. They're making me like 500 or something, or a little bit more. Compacted coal, I don't remember the numbers exactly. If you want, I can show you the screenshots later, because it's a lot of math going on here. But yeah, they're making the compacted coal to give me turbo fuel here. And then all of this turbo fuel can power technically 67 of fuel generators. So I placed 60 of them, and then I overclocked the ones in the corners there, so they can consume the rest of the fuel that I'm making. Now this is not all connected. It's literally only connected to that first one over there, because we need to slowly start the entire setup a little bit by little bit, and then we will have some power, because yeah, this is very troublesome. Oh, and I also need to hook these ones up. These ones are going to be making us plastic and rubber, because, well, that's what you want to do, right? You need to produce these items, yes. Because the polymer resin that we get from here will then later be used in these ones, put together with water, and we will have, well, plastic and rubber, because we don't have the production at the moment. But this is one of the biggest factories I built, actually. Kinda. Oh, and of course, if we're gonna be doubling the power that we're making, like turbo fuel,
all of these powered fuel powered generators. Yeah, I need a double on top. I need to copy this entire setup and copy it at the top. Because yeah, we need 60 more of these. So now it's just a question of how much longer do I take just to put the cables on all of these machineries. Because yeah, it's a lot of machines. I didn't even count them, but there's like 200 just for half of the setup. I think no, it's like 100 for half of the setup, so 200 total or more. I don't know. Okay, slowly but surely, so we never go over the 2000. This is scary, because my entire factory can just go down. Oh wait. I have a solution. So now all I have to do is toggle this off. And yeah, as you can see, we're now only consuming 800. Our factory here was consuming 800, which means, yeah, we just got a whole lot smoother with our production. Which means, and yes, I built a pipe to go all the way there. I can just snap on into this pipe and we go all the way there. And you can see, like, along the shores, I brought those power lines as well to bring the power. They should still be hooked up to the power. Like, they're not connected to the factory, they're connected to my main power grid. Now I will have to make sure that I put priority switches, so in case anything ever goes wrong in the future, my production factory keeps running, and only the rest of the factories like get shut down, so that I can just unplug them a little by little and get the power back up in case anything goes wrong. And now, time to start all of these ones up. Like, I only have these 10 connected, but I gotta start somewhere, right? Hopefully, start getting more power. Look at that beauty. I connected all the machines up. It's now only remaining to connect all the power generators. I still need to do some piping, and I'm not really handling the polymer resin at the moment. I'm just, well, basically sinking it. These refineries are for the second setup, but yeah, as you can see, they're all just getting synced over there because I need to hook these ones up. But the main goal right now is to get power running. And how are we doing? Decent. I'd say we're decent. I'd say we can start connecting the piping and let the turbo fuel start accumulating in the pipes as well. To also make sure that everything is flowing correctly so we don't have any power hiccups. And I do need to come in here into this last one and get some juice extra out of it, I think. This one is at 250. But I believe I need to do a little bit of math, because 250 is wrong. I believe 250 is way too much. I think I need to do some math again, just to make sure that everything is correct. Like, I have those two on 250, and I think that's a little bit too much. And now everything is connected. Still need to duplicate these guys, and still need to get some water and process plastic. But then I came up with a realization, and that is, I have a lot of fuel, right? And I'm tired of using, well, biofuel as my jetpack's fuel, and we can give it packaged turbo fuel, right? We can give it that, which means we can probably do something with all of this fuel and get some packaged turbo fuel to use in our jetpack. Now, the little thing here is, where am I going to put it? Because I'm going to get plastic and rub it out of here. And I'm thinking of probably sending it all the way into this area at the end. Because this is basically where I'm gonna, like, where the fuel ends. So the fuel gonna go everywhere, and then this is like the last area, last machine the fuel needs to come. So I could possibly put like a package fuel here, because it's not a very big machine. It's a very small machine, just like this. And we'd have it. Of course, we also need a constructor now that I think about it, because we're making this. Takes canisters, takes turbo fuel. For some reason, it doesn't even load in properly. It's gonna do it again. Oh, okay. So that's a cute little bug. Basically, if we take a look at the constructor here, we can see that with the recipe we want is the empty canisters, which take some plastic and give us canisters. We're not really going to be needing that much, because if I make my calculations correctly, we'd only be needing or using like 10 turbo fuel per minute, which is not that much. Like, it's not that much. Which means this guy only needs to be producing 10 canisters per minute. So 10 canisters is like 5 plastic per minute, which we will be doing way more than that. So it's not really an issue, but we can probably just set that up here because we have all of this empty space, and might as well just take advantage of that, right? And it's at this moment that I realized, well, this was all going way too smoothly for me. Like building the machines, connecting the pipes, putting things together. And then it happened. Somewhere along the lines, I miscalculated these guys. So I placed one too many on every single line. So instead of 60, I had 66. But I had some of these guys with some overclocks to actually get 66. So technically I had 72. And that was bad because I was not getting enough power. And that made sense until I got rid of the overclocks, which now means I have everything properly set up here. And then, well, the fuel happened. Well, you see, if you take a look at this valve, you can see that this is barely onto the 600, but it should really be at the 600. It's weird how this sometimes goes and stays at the 600 and sometimes doesn't. But if you take a look at the flow rate of the pipes themselves, like you can see that if I remove the valve and just let this be a pipe, this will have a flow rate of 600, which is weird. Like valves are very, very janky, I should say. But the problem is not with any of these ones. The problem is down here. You see, for some reason, even though the math is perfectly done, there's no fuel in these pipes. Now, at the moment, I decided to re-upgrade all of these ones to MK2s because they were only MK1s connecting into the refineries themselves. And I thought, well, maybe this is the issue. But as you can see, this is not entirely true. For some reason, I had that one not working, and now I have like 5 or 6 of them that are not connecting. Now, just double checking all the math, double checking everything, now that I fixed some issues that I found along the way, I'm gonna hope that it's just a matter of time, because I'm messing with lots of machineries. So there's a lot of consumption just before it reaches the end of the pipeline. So it might be just a little bit of a delay. It's going to take like 10 minutes to fill this one, 20, an hour, and you know, it's going to be exponential. The more machines I have to do, but hopefully it should fix itself. I'm going to like AFK. Yeah, you can see there's literally no fuel pumping into this one. I'm gonna AFK for a while and see if it fixes itself, because I really want to have everything perfect. Like, this is not a very good feeling at the moment, seeing that the last few hours just wasted. I don't know. It's wonky. Fuels in this game has always been very, very wonky. And now we have this set up. I mean, only have the setup still, but we are now getting ourselves some packaged turbo fuel, which is great for the jetpack because it gives you a very big height boost, and it's definitely way better than solid biofuel. And well, we're making it as a byproduct of all of these guys. And now we're at the time where I have to replicate this setup over here, replicate this setup on top of itself, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how we make turbo fuel. It was definitely not painful. Right, guys? Right, fuel tubes? Right? Not painful at all. No, it wasn't. I didn't spend like 4 hours trying to fix fuel. No, I didn't. No, that's a lie. But it's with all that said that we're gonna have to end the video here right now because I have a lot of grinding to do. But, as always, guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you in the next one. Bye!